I am Father Leo Ochoa, and I was born in Negros, but I grew up actually in Luzon for my high school studies, my college studies, and my teaching practice in Pampanga until I was assigned to work as missionary in Thailand. So actually my work here in Cambodia was a part of a long preparation and mission. So I always, when I remember Cambodia, I always remember the roots of my formation in the Philippines, where I studied my elementary, high school, and college as a preparation for the mission work that we do in Cambodia. Since Cambodia is part of the Salesian of Don Bosco Mission, we follow the same vision and mission. So it is the same vision and mission of Don Bosco working in 130 countries. So Cambodia, like in the Philippines, has the same spirit of working, of living together. Philippines started to work in 1951, while Don Bosco's Cambodia started in 1999. But Don Bosco Cambodia was part of the mission of Don Bosco Thailand, because Cambodia was part of Don Bosco Thailand that started the mission in 1927. So it has a long way, and the work in Don Bosco Thailand developed until Cambodia needed some kind of work like Don Bosco. So our work in Cambodia was actually started in Thailand in the refugee camp, when during the Pol Pot regime, all the Khmer people were sent away from Cambodia, and since 1995 to 1979, there were many of these Cambodian people, Khmer people, they were in Thailand. So they were in the refugee camp, and our Salesians, especially the past pupil of Don Bosco Bangkok, were able to organize some vocational training skills and literacy education to the children in the camp of the Khmer, in order that they can pass their time fruitfully while they're waiting for their return to Cambodia. And so in 1999, Don Bosco was invited to come to Cambodia. And so it was only in 1999 that the Don Bosco Cambodia opened since 24 of May 1999 to start the work, and the place was an orphanage of the government given to Don Bosco to start the first activity. So since it was a small place, it is actually 12 kilometers from the present situation that we are here. It is near the river, and we started the first year of activity in that orphanage center. And so while the first activity was started, the first conference, we had two conferences that started here, one priest and one lay brother. They started to find a piece of land. And so after scouting the land in this area, we decided to take this land with one main purpose, because it is near the airport. And we also noticed that the development of the city was towards this area, to the airport and this area. And actually we can see now how the city is developed as it is now. So the school here, which we started, is a technical school, because when we arrived in Cambodia, the first project that we signed with the government was vocational schools and technical schools, in order to prepare skilled workers for the future. So actually it was a non-formal education of 2 years. That means that the students should finish outside at least third year high school Third year high school is equivalent to the high school formation in the Philippines. So it is third year high school, and then they study 2 years here. And after 2 years, they can find a job. They can be employed in many factories and in many centers that need skilled workers. So actually, by now, we have about 3,000 graduates since 1919. The first school was very few, but until now, we have about 3,000 students. Not only Don Bosco Phnom Penh, but also when Don Bosco also opened in Sihanoukville, the second technical school, and then another center in Poipet, and then there is now a training center in Kep, and also we are opening in Battambang, but in Battambang it will be more for agriculture and rice farming. And so the main purpose of the Don Bosco was first of all technical education and vocational training. But then we found out that the students lack education, basic education. So we try to open a project which scatters children, giving opportunities to children to study basic elementary and then or high school, meaning that the country has a policy for compulsory education, which is 9 years education that is compulsory, and it is supposed to be free education, and the parents are encouraged to send their children to school. So that is the basic education. So we found out that that was necessary in order to have a better graduates for technical education. So we try to help children who have no opportunities to study to school. So they have no means because they are so poor that they go to work in order to survive, because that was the first need of the country, survival. So everybody tries to find a means in order to get some money in order to be able to eat. So survival was the most important value during that time. So education was left out. So in order to encourage children to go to the school, we have to find a way of how to motivate them to go to school and to remain in school in order to study. So actually we provide everything, telling them, trying to motivate them that education is important. Once you finish education, you can help your family and other people in the future. And so that was the motivation of basic education. Yeah. The first coordination that we do is the Philippine Embassy. And so whatever the embassy is trying to request us, what kind of help that we can help them, or so we help them everything. And so for example, the last activity that we are connected with the embassy and especially with the Philippines, with Erie, is trying to develop agriculture. So in order to help us in the program of rice production, because it is also our priority to have rice for the people, and it is a necessary need for the people. So we have a network with Erie. Philippines or the expertise for agriculture, and also we try to work with the embassy about this the field of development in the country. And so through the embassy we were able, even I was lucky to meet Secretary Alcala of the agriculture secretary when he came here last time. And I was happy that he has a very nice program for the rice production in the Philippines, because rice is actually very important not only for the Philippines but for Asian people. And so agriculture was one of the area that we work with the Philippine Embassy, with Erie, because it is what we need for the development of the young people and of the country. So food production. I have seen the development in the Philippines, and then I have seen the development in Thailand. I have been in Thailand for 26 years, and then in Cambodia for 13 years. So I have opened my eyes and have seen the development of Thailand and Cambodia, which was step by step, and it was all progressing. And then looking back to the Philippines with a little bit of feeling, because when I left Philippines, many of the Thais were going to the Philippines in order to study. So actually during the 1970s, Philippines was the center of education. So still during the time, education was very important in the Philippines, and many Asian people go to the Philippines in order to get education. But what is important is they were able to bring that education to their country and to develop. Of course, many events happen. First of all is the climate. So even if we have all the technology, but we cannot control the climate change and all the outside factors. So, but in some countries, they have a very good climate and situation. So they were really able to develop their country. No? So seeing the development on the history of the Philippines, only recently, and we have passed many president and administration, but I think this present administration is doing a lot. It has changed even the image of the Philippines. When I left the Philippines, the image of the Philippines was a sick person of Asia, always very sickly because of many situations. But I think now it's becoming healthy. They are no longer sickly people, but healthy. But I am becoming a healthy person. The administration has done a lot. And I think that the priorities that the president is doing is the priorities that I have seen in the development of the country. So actually the first priority that I was able to notice in Thailand, for example, is the development of the rural areas. That was very important. What do you mean by development of the rural areas? Road buildings, bridges, so to connect people. Because when I arrived in Thailand, the first problem of Thailand was communism. And communists were actually like the problem of many countries. They are in the mountains, in the less developed countries. So the government of Thailand, in order to fight that problem through development, so make roads so that it is accessible to the people to go up and down to the cities and so on. So the development of this road building and bridges, and that is communication, was really very important for the development of the situation, so the peace situation. And then with the peace situation, the development of the social situation was easy. So after the road buildings, you have now the construction of buildings, the cities, villages, cities, and so on. So, but infrastructure was very important in the beginning. So, but it started with developing the rural areas. So, developing the rural areas. So when I go back to the Philippines, I have been going back for vacation for many years, and in my town for 40 years, I never seen the improvement of the roads. They're always worse and worse. So I was a bit feeling sad, because why they cannot develop the road? Instead of improving the road, it has gone worse and worse. And before it was asphalted, now it remains dirt and so on. and years was like that, and that has been for many years, and it is the actual. But in papers, when they report to the government, that road, the national road, has been already developed. No, so I think the problem is the administration, that is clarity. No, the clarity. So for me, this administration is in the right track, because what is the basis is that this present administration was able to build trust and confidence. That is the basic. There was trust and confidence. So with trust and confidence, the other development follows. No, because people trust, and there is a better atmosphere, no? So, and it has been the history at the time in Thailand, and especially also in Cambodia, when trust was built and confidence to the administration, so improvement developed. I remember in Cambodia, for example, there was no development because everybody did not trust. They don't even spend the money outside. They have to keep because they don't trust. So, but once the trust was developed, so development was automatic. No? Another aspect that I like with the administration is the focus on education. But not only education, but they're trying to do on skills. So even the technical education, the vocational, and especially agriculture. So agriculture, and in order to develop that agriculture, I know that also the administration has been focusing on health education of the people, because it is all connected. No? So I think that the president has clear vision of how to develop the country, and he can do it all of a sudden, but he has the steps, no? The basic steps that I think that. And also the people in the government, I noticed that there are more good people, efficient people that are joining the government, no? Because they have one purpose of developing the country, and also to keep the spirit of the Filipino people. So I am very happy for that. We have 1 year preparation.
But not yet building.
Oh, where the shop?